Guess what time it is? You're right. It's time for another DIY Mixology Holiday Box. I'm going to create with this box of 8 paint colors, and I'm so excited. The idea came to me when I went to the thrift store and I found a couple houses, and then a friend gave me another couple houses. And then IOD came out with their houses. It just all came together. I have been a fan of little Christmas village handmade houses for many, many years. I did a few of them like 3 years back. I'll put a picture here. I also take the ceramic thrifted houses and I paint them all white. Then I put a layer of Big Top on them and sprinkle them with glitter. They sold at a craft sale for me for years. To have a whole village of white houses is pretty sweet. In this video, we're challenged to use this box of paint. There is Eden, a nice green, White Swan, Little Black Dress, Carnival Red, Petticoat Pink, Farm Fresh, Walk on Water, and my favorite, this might be the golden ticket for you to buy this Mixology kit. This is golden ticket in this box. It also comes with a pamphlet that Debbie has put together, and it is beautiful. Debbie does such a good job with all the illustration in her pamphlets. She even has Saint Nick on there, and she does a really good job. Plus it also has a QR code here. You can scan it and get access to all the videos from the creatives that have used this Mixology kit. You can find them on my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. Now let's get to the video.
The first project that we're going to do are these 2 thrifted hat boxes that I found while in Appleton. They are wood. They are really, really old hat boxes. They were painted white already, but they just had a little bit of age and wear to them. They needed a refresh. I am taking Carnival Red from the Mixology kit, and I'm going to paint the smaller of the boxes in Carnival Red. It's going to be a beautiful Christmas color. Then I'm going to try to put an IOD inlay onto this red paint. Hopefully that will all work out. When I painted the top of the box, you can see that it's like a thinner coat because of the white that was underneath. You just need to mist it on your second coat, and it will be like a half a coat. You will not use as much paint as you would if you wouldn't mist it with water. So misting it with water makes it a second coat, like a half of a coat, and it's the perfect coverage on this Carnival Red over this white box. Here is the inlay that I'm going to use. It's from IOD. It does have a couple of the black trim pieces, and we're going to put them right onto the side of this lid. I mist the inlay with water, and then I use Debbie's DIY liquid patina, and I put liquid patina onto the edge of this rim. And then I take the inlay that's moistened, I lay it face down into the liquid patina and push it down, making sure to make good contact with that paint. And then I mist it with water. And since it is a sealer, we're going to bring that back in about 7 to 10 minutes. You do not want it to thoroughly dry because it will start to adhere and you won't get that paper off. So here it's dry. I'm going to take my mister bottle, mist that paper, and let it sit for like 3 to 10 seconds. And then I'm going to pull off that edge and we're going to see what we get. This box is very textured, so I knew that it would be kind of a vintage look, but I'm certainly okay with that. It did look really, really nice. I did like the look of this transfer. And what I did next was everything was coated with a the liquid patina. So the entire bottom side of the box, I had put liquid patina on it. So my dark wax is not soaking into the wood as much as if I wouldn't have had that on there. I did sand that box so that I would bring out some of that distressed look and give it some age. So what I forgot to do, and I'm going to tell you when I make mistakes, is I forgot to reseal this. I did not put any liquid patina onto this after I pulled the transfer off. And it comes off onto the side, but I think some of my inlay came off too. And it just doesn't look as crisp as it should. Here's the bottom box. You can see by the what I'm pointing out that there's a little bit of age. Winter Adornment is the stamp that I'm going to be using today. This is an IOD stamp from last year. I still have this product in stock if you would like it. This winter foliage works for everything. It is the best yet. And I go and I stamp on that design using my thin mount, never taking my hands off of that stamp to make sure that it doesn't wiggle. This is working with a round hat box, so it is a little bit more difficult. And I'm going to speed up the video here, adding some of the more elements. And then I also use the DIY paint from the Mixology kit to paint in those stamps and make it look very vintagey. I finished this box up with some dark wax after I had put the big top onto the hat box so that it wouldn't absorb into the paint. Wipe that back off, and these hat boxes are finished. What do you think of this project? All of a sudden, I had a really good idea of what to do with this mixology kit, which included painting 12 of these wood 4-inch rounds with Little Black Dress, back and front side. I am painting the front side and I am not getting any paint on the edges, but even if I did, which in the end you will see that I did, it does not matter. Now I'm mixing up my big top. Make sure you always stir your big top before you start to use it. Those matte finishes will settle to the bottom, and you want to make sure that it is nice and mixed up. After I got the 12 Days of Christmas from the IOD transfer onto both sides, I used Golden Ticket. and I stirred it up really, really well. This is such a pretty product. Now I'm going to stack 6 of these ornaments into a stack. I'm doing half and half. And then I pinch them really tight. I take a brush with my golden ticket and I brush on the edge, continuing to go around this stack of ornaments, pinching where I am painting. And what this is going to cause is just a tiny, tiny little irregular edge on the front and back side of the ornament. That's going to add a little charm to these. This project is now finished. Well, I thought it was finished. I needed something to hang them on. We had a big windstorm. It knocked out these branches into a tree, and I'm like, perfect. I can use them. Going in with my DIY paint from the Mixology kit, this is the white swan. I added some snow to the branch. Now this project is finished. Here are some houses I got from my friend. There were 4 of these bigger houses. A couple chimneys had broken off. I really liked this antique sign and the bed and breakfast. So I took some tracing paper and I traced the location of the houses and this antique sign onto the tracing paper. I want to use that for later. So I'm going to trace the bread and breakfast and this antique sign, and then I'm tracing the other houses so that I can put the windows and the doors in the exact location because I do like where they're at. Now that I have my templates all designed, I sanded my houses, making sure to knock down any raised edges, and I'm painting a couple of the houses in petticoat pink, a couple of the houses in Eden with white swan mixed into it so it wasn't quite so bright. And then I also used some farm fresh and went over some of the houses. These little pastel-y Christmassy colored houses are going to look so adorable together. And Debbie curated this mixology kit and everything goes so well together. I can't wait till you see this end product. I didn't have a color for my chimneys and I didn't want it to be black, so I took the Carnival Red and the Eden and mixed them together, getting a brownish color, which like is a brick red, which would be perfect for a chimney. I had to think outside the box to make this work. Now for my roof lines, I'm going to use the little black dress and refresh the black on that roof line. After everything had dried, I took a graphite pencil and I scribbled on the back side of this tracing paper. This is going to help me copy the image onto the painted surface. And I flip it back over and then I take my pencil and I trace all of the windows, the doors, and that bed and breakfast sign onto the tracing paper, which then transfers it onto the little house. I did not think of it, but I did not need to trace this bed and breakfast quite yet because I need to paint that sign. So this was kind of a waste of time, but it worked in the end. And then I just went ahead and did all the rest of the houses, painting everything up with the trace marks that I had created. I finished painting the houses and now I'm going to use the IOD Partridge Lane transfer. This is my favorite transfer. I am cutting it up. You do not have to use the transfers exactly like they are. This garland, I only wanted half of it so that I could put it on the bottom of my bed and breakfast sign and make it look like there was a little bit of garland hanging off of their sign. And then I also took the other pieces and hung them from the windows. I took some wreaths and hung them on the houses. I had a lot of fun with these transfers, decorating up these houses to make them look even a little bit more special than just having this fun DIY paint on them. A little pink door with a pink bed and breakfast. Yes, of course I'm going to stay there sometime. A little greenhouse. It was perfect. It was just so much charm that you can add to some thrifted houses just using the DIY paint. And this Mixology kit is perfect for your Christmas crafting. I hope that you will think about ordering one from my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. Another color I didn't have was something to tint my windows with, make them glow. Of course, golden ticket is the answer, so I just brushed on some golden ticket over my windows, making it look like there was a little glow inside the house. And when I would get too heavy, I would just take my finger, pull some of that back off, and this was an amazing look. I really like the look of this golden ticket inside the windows. I might have to do this every time I make windows now. One more detail to these houses. It's all about the details, guys. Those small little details matter. We're going to take the DIY paint frosting, add it to the little bit of white swan that we have left, and it's going to make this paint thicker. When it sits, it'll even get thicker, but it's already making this paint like a frosting. That is why it's called paint frosting. It's going to be perfect for adding snow on top of the roofs, in the windowsills, on top of the chimneys, everywhere that makes it look like it's a snowy time at Village. And then I went and added a little bit of glitter onto the wet paint, and it gave it some sparkle. I had coated these houses with DIY's Big Top and then also some dark wax to age them up before I did this step. You can see where I'm going with this, and of course we need some trees. These little wood trees I have had for years in a box. They marked the sidewalk path going to one of the craft sales from many, many years ago. This was leftover house paint. This is Eden with the white swan mixed into it. Why waste it? I'm going to use it as the first coat on the over top of that white. This Eden covered really well over top of the green. Only one coat is what that one took. The other ones that were white took two. Here's some spindles that I had in my junk pile. I cut them all up and painted all of them in white swan. So I used some white swan on these, put some bottle brush trees on them, and then the bigger trees, I adhered them to the tops of the spindles. Now I'm going to add a little bit of golden ticket to these trees, giving them some nice sparkle. These trees have had IOD transfers put on them. They've had DIY Big Top and dark wax. They are now getting another layer of golden ticket, and then I'm going to finish them off with the paint frosting. And we are really close to revealing the end product here. It is so good. I can't wait for you to see it. Hang on, it's coming.
What did you think? Wasn't that the sweetest video? Debbie's Mixology Kit for the holidays? Spot on, guys. Spot on. If you want to grab yours, go to thepaintedphotographer.com and grab yourself one or two of those boxes because it's so good. I really enjoyed this video. Making these houses brings me back to the day when I created my own houses. These I got when I thrifted, which was perfect, but I created so many houses. I sold them all except for the one that I showed you at the beginning of this video. I don't have room for things like this in my house. I don't have the space, and I have way too many grandkids running around that it would be destroyed. Thanks for joining me on this video. I did not use all the colors completely in this video, but I used Walk on Water completely, White Swan completely. Petticoat Pink is almost gone. So are the other colors. It's really hard to use all of the colors in one video. We might be here for a while. So thank you for watching. I really, truly hope that if you don't follow me, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, I hope you'll come back. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you to Debbie from Debbie's Design Diary for asking me to be included in this Mixology Kit playlist. You can check the link below for the other creators and see what they did with this box. And until next time, happy painting.